Jerome Powell did something very scary the other day. He criticized federal spending. When the spending mouthpiece complains, you know it is bad. At an event hosted by the Economic Club of New York, the Fed chair delivered his usual fortune teller shtick amid cloudy stars and dancing data. But one sentence stuck out, criticizing federal spending, with Powell intoning, quote, "The path we are on is unsustainable. We'll have to get off that path sooner than later." Now, this is comic-level understatement of the fiscal death vortex into which America has fallen, with $2 trillion deficits as far as the eye can see, and Congress itself now forecasting $144 trillion in debt in the next 20 years. All while debt service, recession, and wars pile on to drive it even higher. But comical or no, this is a big step for a Fed chair who has been noteworthy in the enthusiasm with which he tongue bathes the big spenders in Congress. To give a flavor, you can find a clip from June of a reporter asking Powell if federal spending is part of the inflation problem, where Powell acts like you just insulted his wife, fuming, quote, "We don't give advice to the government, we take spending as it comes, stick it in our model, along with a million other things." Now, Powell is not actually dumb enough to think that $2 trillion deficits is just one of a million other things. He knows federal spending is a fiscal black hole that is sucking everything in. It drains trillions from the productive economy, and going by the 10-year bond, it is now threatening catastrophe on the entire financial system. So why does Powell lie? Because the Fed's job is not to manage the economy. It's not, as the Fed claims, to carefully balance supply and demand and just the right amount of money so that America grows not too fast, not too slow, but just right. Alas, that is all a children's story. The Fed's real job is to print as much money as the people will tolerate, to seize via inflation what Washington cannot seize via taxes, and to deliver the proceeds first to Wall Street, then to Congress with cheap debt, and finally to the rich investors who own all of that debt. Thing is, this entire beautiful shell game depends above all on the goodwill of Congress. The Fed needs Congress to leave it alone so it can steal in peace. So no matter how reckless Congress is being, the Fed dutifully plays along, meaning it is a big deal when Jerome Powell summons the will to criticize his boss. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained. What's next is when the professional counterfeiter is worried about too much printing, it is a concern. For now, Powell's still talking like a kept man, hemming and hawing about getting off paths sooner than later, perhaps even to cover his butt for what's next. Alas, Congress does not care what's next. There is no guardrail, no countervailing force to limit Congress's spending orgy. The media certainly doesn't call them out, meaning most Americans may have a vague sense that Washington spends a lot of money, but they have no idea a crisis is coming. And so Congress will keep careening off the fiscal cliff, with Jerome Powell's sugar-coated butt covering a footnote on the way down. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.